Everyone has a tip for how to remember things better. Take notes, use flashcards, sleep more, drink water, and if none of that works, just accept that you have a bad memory and move on with your life. Which is kind of a weird thing to accept because your memory isn't actually bad. It's just doing exactly what it was designed to do. The problem is, what it was designed to do and what you actually want it to do are two completely different things. So let's fix that. Your brain doesn't store memories like a hard drive. It's not saving files in a folder somewhere labeled important stuff. What it's actually doing is deciding in real time whether the thing you just experienced is worth keeping. And the way it makes that decision is pretty simple. It asks one question: will I ever need this again? If the answer seems like no, it deletes it. Not slowly, immediately. You forget most of what happens to you within about 20 minutes. This isn't a bug. This is the whole point. Your brain is trying to save space and energy. It has been doing this since before you had a phone to forget to charge. The problem is your brain is making this decision based on context. And most of the time, the context you're learning something in makes it look completely useless. Here's what that looks like in real life. You're sitting in a class, someone is explaining how interest rates work, and your brain looks around and goes, okay, there are no immediate consequences here, no one is in danger, this information will not help me survive the next 10 minutes. Deleted. And then 5 years later, you're signing a loan document and you realize you have absolutely no idea what you agreed to. Your brain didn't fail you. It just made a very logical decision with very bad long-term consequences. So how do you trick it into actually keeping the things you wanted to keep? The answer isn't more repetition. Repeating something over and over while sitting in the same chair, in the same room, with the same energy is one of the least effective ways to make your brain think something matters. Your brain sees repetition without consequence and goes, cool, still useless, still deleting. What your brain actually responds to is stakes, real or imagined. This is why you remember embarrassing moments from 7 years ago with perfect clarity. Because at the time, your brain flagged that situation as high consequence. Something happened. There were social stakes. Emotions got involved. Your brain went, okay, we are keeping this one. We are keeping this one forever, actually. You're welcome. So the trick is to manufacture that same feeling of stakes when you're trying to learn something on purpose. Here's how that works in practice. Say you're reading about how the stock market works. Normal approach: read the chapter, highlight some stuff, close the book, forget everything by Thursday. Your brain logged zero consequences. Better approach: after you read the chapter, close the book and explain it out loud to yourself, to your wall, to your slightly confused pet. It doesn't matter. The act of trying to explain it creates a gap. You'll get halfway through your explanation and realize you have no idea how to finish the sentence. That gap is your brain flagging a consequence. It now knows this information was needed. It will hold on to it slightly longer. Even better approach: make it a real situation. Tell someone else. Bet something small on whether you can explain it correctly. Write it in a message to a friend who might actually use it. The more real the stakes feel, the harder your brain works to keep the memory intact. This is also why practice questions work better than rereading. Rereading feels productive but creates no stakes. Practice questions simulate the situation where the information is actually needed. Your brain treats them like a real test. It starts caring. Now, there's a second piece to this that most people skip entirely, and that's the forgetting curve. Here's the thing about memory. Even when your brain decides to keep something, it starts letting go of it almost immediately. Within a day, you've forgotten about 70% of what you learned. Within a week, most of the rest is gone. This isn't because you're bad at learning. This is just how biological memory works. It decays unless you give it a reason not to. The way you fight this isn't by rereading your notes the night before you need the information. That's too late. The way you fight it is by reviewing the information right before your brain was about to forget it. Not immediately after learning it. Not a week later, right before the forgetting happens. Usually that means revisiting something after 1 day, then after 3 days, then after a week, then after a month. Each time you review it, right before you forget it, your brain pushes the forgetting point further out. Eventually the information becomes so embedded, it basically lives there permanently. This is called spaced repetition, and there are apps that do the scheduling for you automatically, which is great, because you were definitely not going to do that math yourself. But here's the part no one tells you. Spaced repetition only works on things your brain already thinks matter. If you try to use it on information that has zero emotional or practical connection to your life, your brain will technically remember it and also not care about it at all. You'll be able to recite it like a robot and have no idea what to actually do with it. So the full system looks like this. First, make the information feel like it has stakes when you first encounter it. Use it, explain it, apply it to something real or at least imaginary. Second, review it right before you forget it, not after. Third, keep connecting it to things that actually matter to you so your brain never gets the chance to reclassify it as useless. That's it. That's the whole thing. Your brain is not broken. It's extremely good at its job. The job just isn't the same as your job. Your brain's job is to keep you alive and conserve energy. Your job, apparently, is to remember how mitochondria work for a test on Friday and also retain that information for the rest of your life for some reason. You have to meet your brain where it is. Speak its language. Give it consequences, give it spacing, give it context that makes the information feel necessary. Do that, and your brain will remember things for you with a level of reliability that will genuinely surprise you. Or you could just keep highlighting things in yellow and hoping for the best. But you've been doing that for 12 years, and here you are watching a video about memory. So maybe try the other.